SafeSpace, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that SafeSpace has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the SafeSpace private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with VTerrillHill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the SafeSpace universe has to offer.
My people, my people, my people, my people, my people. How are y'all doing today? I hope y'all are well, and I hope y'all can hear me. I didn't do an audio check. Hold on. Let's make sure that I can be heard. All right. I can be heard. How are y'all doing today? Now, we got, mighty good show today, guys. We're going to be talking about it all. We're going to be talking about the Cassie and Diddy. Well, it's really the United States against Diddy. You would think it was the United States against Cassie, but that's neither here nor there. But we're going to be talking about it from a psychological perspective as it relates to abuse, how it works. We're going to be talking about sinners, hoodoo, voodoo, you do. We're going to be talking about racial identity, what it means to be Black in America, what it means to be a Black woman in America. We're going to go there today. This is the talk that's going to shake the table today, guys. And I got a wonderful, wonderful guest, Shantae Charles. She's backstage right now. And when we come back from commercial, she's going to be on stage. And we're just going to have a wonderful conversation with her. And you guys can be part of it, all right? I highlighted her YouTube channel in the video description box of YouTube. And if you're watching on Facebook, come on over to the YouTube, click her link and subscribe, all right? If you enjoy what this young lady is going to be saying today, I would love for you to support her and subscribe to her channel, all right? Now, for those of you guys that's new, here's what's about to happen. I'm about to talk to those in the group chat. I'm going to say hi to them. We're going to go to commercial. I'm going to give some announcements. And then I'm going to be bringing up the good old Shantae Charles. All right. Daryl, how are you doing today? I hope you're well. I hope you're good. What's up, Fran, Drew, P, Diddy? Hope you're well. Hey, LaQuisha, how you doing? I hope you're good. Andrea, Angela, Shoot Bishop. What's up, Shoot Bishop? How you doing? Angel Hart, the chocolate cake. I haven't forgotten, Angel. I haven't forgotten. Johnny Mack, what's up with you, man? Recash. Nicole C, how you doing? CJ, what up with you, man? Hope you're good. What's up, Tarsha Global? How you doing? I hope you're well. Lisa Bailey, what up with you? I hope you're good as well. All right, I think that's everybody from now, all right? We're going to go to commercial break. And then when we come back, we're going to be doing all things Singing Queen. How you be? How you be? We're going to give some announcements, and then we're going to bring Shantae Charles up. We will be right back.
SafeSpace, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that SafeSpace has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the SafeSpace private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with VTerrillHill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the SafeSpace universe has to offer.
All right, thank you so much for rocking with your boy. Hi, my name is VTerrillHill, and this is SafeSpace with VTerrillHill. Today we're talking about God, ghost, and getting free. The taboo talk that's about to shake the table, all right? If you want to be notified when I come live, I text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 to be notified when I come live, all right? I come live Monday through Thursday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I cannot believe it's Thursday. So I cannot believe it's Thursday, and I have been live every day this week. My God, I am so proud of me. Nonetheless, if you want, I would love for you all to support the channel by giving $10. 10 of you to give $10. The Cash App is SafeSpace VTH. The PayPal and Zelle is info@VTerrillHill.com. And the Venmo is @VTerrillHill. SafeSpace VTH Cash App. Info@VTerrillHill.com, Zelle and PayPal, and Venmo @VTerrillHill. I'm appreciative in advance for you guys supporting. Send me something nice. I'll open something nice. P.O. Box 221, Wisset, North Carolina 27377. P.O. Box 221, Wisset, North Carolina 27377. Join the private community. It's $2.99 a month. You have no earthly idea how great the community is. We will be doing an after show today, guys. I did not do one yesterday, but today we're going to after show it. So go ahead, private community, and get ready. We chatting tonight, all right? Let's see if we can, I don't know. Let's just see where it goes. You can join the private community by clicking the Linktree link in the video description box of the video you're watching right now. Okay. Now they're putting the YouTube link in the live YouTube comments. And if you're on desktop or laptop watching YouTube, click the join button right up under the video. You can join that way as well. Instagram and Twitch, you have to come to Facebook or YouTube to get access to the link. Last but not, no, it's not the last one. Email me at info@VTerrillHill.com, info@VTerrillHill.com. Do me a favor. If you're glad to be here, drop 3 green hearts in the comments. All right. Drop 3 green hearts in the comments if you're glad to be here. Info@VTerrillHill.com. I answer all emails, even if they're 3 to 5 to 6 to 10 days late. I answer all emails. Okay. I prefer emails over DMs as well because it's hard. Like messages are in one spot. So when I respond, I can just sit there, cut some nice calming music on and respond to each one. DMs, you got TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and this and that. That's too much. Last but not least, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. All right. Let's see what y'all are saying over here in the private community. I done went all the way to the, not the private community. Let's see here. You better do it, VT. I'm trying my best. Oh, you just saw it today, Tarsha? Good. I'm glad you saw it today so you can be a part of the conversation. Joanne, hi, all. Hope all is well. I'll be working, making the purse. Joanne, I miss you, girly, now. Oh, you're riding from me now, huh? That's a cheap accent, you know. Hi, Larissa. Hi. How are you doing? I hope you're well. Thank y'all for the green hearts. Oh, yeah. Thank y'all for the green hearts. Thank y'all so much for the green hearts. All right. Are y'all ready to bring Shantae on? I am so looking forward to this conversation. Shantae, in my opinion, is a mind of minds, a brains of brains. I've been knowing her for quite a while now, and she's a friend of the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and the non-binary, Shantae Charles. Hi, Shantae. How you doing?
Hello, everyone. Hello. Greetings and salutations, my fellow human beings of humanity.
There it is. There it is. Human beings of humanity. I was talking yesterday about in short, how humanity, it seems like post-COVID has brought such a coldness to our culture. Whether you're
Mm,
right, left, up, down, black, white, it seems like
mhm.
it's hard to have the human experience post-COVID. Really quickly, because that's not on the agenda today, but really quickly, give some thoughts about that.
One of the thoughts that has been, I would say, marinating with me probably for about a week now, because I've been trying to figure out, um, like you said, what is actually happening with humanity. And I typed in, I use Google, Ask Google, and that kind of thing. I don't use Chat GPT yet.
Sorry to hear that.
Um, but it's because of the amount of energy that Chat GPT uses.
Yeah, a
That
lot of energy.
Yeah. So I was looking for a word to describe what I felt like was happening with humanity. In other
Right.
words, people who had not experienced what some of us have experienced before are now getting a taste of it.
Mm-hmm,
Right.
mm-hmm.
And so, because of what's happening, people are either one of two things, in my opinion. They're either going further into their humanity, or
Mhm.
they're going further away from their humanity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
so I was looking for a word to describe that, and it's actually a term for it called empathy deficit.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
it's empathy deficit.
Mhm.
And some people's deficit gap is closing,
Mhm.
other people's is widening.
Mhm. Mhm. Right.
So
Right.
that's what I feel is happening.
Yeah.
You're seeing people who are getting more in touch with humanity and more in touch with themselves, and
Right.
therefore having that level of empathy that they need to have
Mhm.
to bridge gaps. And then you're seeing the other side of that, people
Yeah.
who are distancing themselves further away from their humanity. I
Right.
can't remember who said it, but they said you can't maintain your humanity while you are dehumanizing other people.
Come on.
In that process,
Yeah.
you're going to lose your own humanity
Yeah.
while you seek to dehumanize others. It's not possible to hold both.
And what I hear you saying in this, Shantae, you gave two statements that are very definitive. You're either coming close to your humanity, or you're either getting away from your humanity. That was one statement that screamed to me. The second statement was you cannot grow closer to your humanity, dehumanizing your neighbor.
Correct.
And that is word bars. And this American landscape, and let's get a little bit more subjective in this. Let's bring it in a little bit. And
Hmm.
even in the religious space,
Hmm.
if you are a person of religion, but you have a hard time understanding immigration, racism, classism, I don't know if you got the humanity of Christ in your heart. Point blank, period. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, we're, of course, in our country right now, we are clearly seeing the difference between the Christ of, I wouldn't even say scripture,
Mhm,
I would say the Christ of humanity
mhm.
versus the God of white supremacy.
Okay, and go deeper.
And I think that some people have become possessed with, and let me tag in there pseudo, because there's nothing supreme about it.
Absolutely right.
The God of pseudo white supremacy. I think some people have become possessed with that,
Mhm.
and they think it's the spirit of God.
Right.
But when everything that comes out of you is anti-human,
Mhm.
anti-empathy,
Mhm.
anti-black,
Right.
anti half of the human population, which is women,
Right.
you can't say that you're sitting in in the divinity, in the understanding of Christ.
Right. 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 That just mic drop. Point blank. Period. The God of white supremacy. Let's skip the sinners real quick.
Okay.
Um, I noticed that there was the crowd was mixed. There was one side that said, "Wonderful movie. The message was great." The other side was saying that they went and the Holy Ghost told them, leave the theater fast. And then some was like, God told me not to go.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot. It was a cauldron. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
had the arts, the spiritual arts, and you had the
Mm-hmm.
spirituality of music. But then you had this
Mm-hmm.
Irish man, and he was saying, "Come on, all let's come together." But then you had blackness. Talk
Mm-hmm.
about that movie in juxtaposition to the God of white supremacy, even if the person that's got that God in his heart is black.
Oh, Father.
Right.
Wow, you just threw me a whole potato salad there, buddy.
Right, right, right.
Um, I'll start out by saying this. I'll start out by saying my husband had to convince me, along with prayer, to go see this film
Mm-hmm,
because as much horror as I have endured in my reality,
mm-hmm.
I am not a horror fan at all.
Me either. Right, right.
So that was the first thing.
Uh,
It wasn't even about the religious side of it. It was just when I saw vampires,
right,
this is my first ever vampire movie.
right. Yeah.
So yeah, the whole vampire horror culture thing that people have going that they love
Mhm.
seeing vampire, that was not my thing.
Right,
But I prayed about it and I said and I asked, is this horror or is this thriller?
right.
So I read up on it a little bit and I realized, okay, this is actually not horror.
Mhm,
It's a thriller with horror elements to it.
mhm,
So I said, okay. I anointed myself with some oil.
mhm. Jesus Christ. Well,
I anointed myself with some oil and I said, I'm taking Jesus Tariq Christ
uh,
into the theater with me.
uh,
Most of you who have heard me say that Tariq just means morning star, but that's my way of saying that the black Christ.
mhm,
And going into that film and understanding that it was a, how can I put this? It was a symphony
mhm,
and a syncretizing
mhm,
of black history, black culture,
mhm,
black faith,
mhm,
telling our history, telling our story
mhm,
in a way that we could get it, we could include the message of Christ in there,
mhm,
we could understand in a way that it was meant for us. I often tell people if you grew up in the South, everything about that film is going to speak to you. It's going to awaken something in you.
mhm.
It's going to unlock something in you about honoring and reverencing your history and where you've come from,
Right.
especially if you were born in the South.
Mhm,
Now, I've actually written a couple of posts about it on Black Table Talk that have gone viral.
mhm.
And I told people, you're free to share them, free to use the words, just attribute. But I wanted to read one of the things that I wrote
Mhm,
about it.
mhm.
And so overall,
Now, Shantae,
mhm,
before you get lost, remember we got less than an hour to cover all of this, so we got to we
I
got
know,
we got to speed it up.
I know,
All
I
right.
know, I know, I know. Um, let's see. Da, 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 da. I'll give you this.
Mhm,
What Ryan Coogler did for the Black Southern culture, Gullah Geechee culture, Delta blues culture, what Kendrick Lamar did for West Coast hip hop and Compton culture,
mhm,
and the Black American culture at the Super Bowl. He was speaking directly to us while simultaneously keeping the overarching theme about vampire tales.
mhm,
He was, in fact, giving us a love letter, a coded message through sinners.
mhm,
Um, he allows Blackness to be.
mhm,
That's something that we haven't really seen a lot of in film. We've seen Black stereotypes in film,
mhm,
but we haven't really seen someone, a filmmaker, a director that just allows Blackness to be, to breathe, to exist without the stereotypes and the tropes.
mhm,
He's actually not telling the audience what Blackness is. He's showing us what it is.
Right. Right. Right.
We see ourselves in Annie. We see ourselves in Smoke and Stack,
Mhm.
right? And then I talked about what you are talking about here, that white supremacist element
Mhm.
that's happening in the film. And I said, if you ever had a hard time understanding what pseudo supremacy is like,
Mhm.
the character Remick
Mhm.
gives you a good idea of what it's like. That vampire nature of pseudo supremacy
Mhm.
that wants to suck the culture dry,
Right.
literally suck the culture dry. Um, he embodies it in Remick, right? Because Remick is going around, and hopefully everyone who's watching has seen, so spoiler alert, Remick is going around and he is infecting everyone he meets and can get his hands on.
Right. And wants everybody
And
to be on the same page. Let's just be one big happy family.
but
Right.
how can I be a happy family? You want me to be a happy family as a soulless person under your mind control.
Right. Right.
And
Yeah.
so what I got from that was, this thing infects everybody it meets.
Mhm.
He got the clans people first.
Mhm.
He
Mhm.
got biracial
Mhm.
Mary.
Right.
He got the Asian guy. Like, it infected
Everybody.
everyone.
Yeah. 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 And I think that's what's happened to the Black local church.
Mm-hmm.
White adjacency, pseudo
Mm-hmm.
supremacy, and it has
Mm-hmm.
sucked the soul out of the Black church because everybody want to assimilate as one big happy family, and that's
Mm-hmm.
not the case. That's why I
It's
can't
not.
stand that comment. You're invited to the cookout. No, no, the hell
Mm-hmm.
you not. We not no, no, not on my watch. Not on my. What do you say to the person that says, "Well, I don't serve a Black God. I'm a kingdom citizen before I'm a Black person"? What do you say to that person?
Someone actually put that on my page the other day. They said that they did not want to, that that godliness was more important than blackness.
Uh-huh.
And I said to them, first of all, let's stop pitting those things against each other.
Right.
It's
Right.
not godliness over blackness, it's godliness and blackness.
Right.
By
Right.
virtue of the fact that God created me and put me in this body,
Right. Yes. Yes.
I don't demonize my blackness.
Right. Right.
It's nothing to be demonized.
Right. And
So that's the first thing.
what's interesting? We will honor gender and classify gender as this holiness. The man is the head of the house, and God and the woman is this. But then but then when it comes to my race, my culture, all of a sudden that ain't, no, you're going too
Mhm,
far. So
mhm,
the man, God anoints the man, and da 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 da, and then it's the woman. But then when
mhm,
it comes to Black, oh well, now you can't put your
mhm,
blackness before God, but you can put your gender before God. I
mhm.
I, I think that's really
And
interesting.
and here's the other piece. Go tell a white person not to be white in a Christian space and see what happens.
Right.
But we don't notice it
Mhm.
because for them, whiteness is the default, because whiteness is already seen as good. It's already seen as holy. It's
Right,
already seen as godly.
right.
So you don't ever hear people say, well, my godliness is before my Europeanness. My godliness is before my Caucasianness.
Right,
You don't hear that.
right.
And the other reality is, and Spirit had to explain it to me this way. He said, go look at Revelations 5. Okay, for the Bible scholars, go look at Revelation 7. Every tribe, tongue, language, and people group will be there.
Mhm.
In other words, who I am is who I am is who I am.
Right, right, right,
It's I'm taking my blackness into eternity.
right,
I'm
right.
not turning into a colorless cloud.
Mm,
No, the scripture is very clear
mhm,
that in eternity, our ethnicity goes with us into eternity.
mhm.
So if it's holy there, why isn't it holy here?
And why was it created if it was not meant to be observed, acknowledged,
Correct.
thought about, honored on some level? Even evil must be observed, honored, and thought about. Darkness must be observed, honored, and thought about. But then my blackness can't be?
No.
Like,
We're taking blackness into eternity.
mhm.
I'm not turning into a blonde-haired white woman in eternity
Right, right.
because I've been purified. No, we are who we are.
Mhm,
And because of that, because we see ourselves in eternity,
mhm.
why are we rejecting our divinity here now?
Okay, now let's pivot real quick.
Go
Hoodoo,
ahead.
voodoo, Christianity. There was a lot of religious, mm, it was a whole spiritual undertone. And
Mhm.
there was a versus, in my opinion, even in the scene inside of the water, when
Mhm.
I think Sammy, I believe his name, went to
Mhm.
quoting the scripture, but then the vampire started quoting it with him and saying,
Mhm.
like, I can do this too. Why is it that the message is going out that I cannot love Christ and my desire to, I'm gonna use their terms. They always go for the burning sage and the crystals. Why can't I love Christ and burn my sage? Why can't I love my Christ and have my crystals? Because that's what they all, say first. Like, to do talk about the either or versus alignment, the same, all the things.
There's so much to unpack in that. I think the first thing is we have a lot of people, number one, who have different doctrines, right? Depending on what stream of Christianity you come from, there's different doctrines around that your faith belief and your faith practice. That's the first thing. The second thing is there's a lot of misunderstanding about hoodoo. People say hoodoo versus Christianity.
Mhm,
I have a 5-hour series in teaching on hoodoo
mhm,
that talks about how it's not versus, it is and.
mhm,
Hoodoo, hoodoo is Christianity. It is
mhm,
African Christianity.
mhm,
It's actually called Congo, with a K, Kongo, Congo Christianity.
mhm,
And so there's a whole conversation happening trying to separate those two out, and they're actually not separate. So
mhm.
that's one of the things I wish people would stop doing, is trying to separate hoodoo out from Christianity when it is its own stream. It is its own stream.
Why do you feel like there is an uneducated, unbiblical campaign to keep us, because there's this migration that I'm noticing in the culture, where we're not just not that we have forsaken the church, but we're not just getting our spirituality from the four wall experience. Why do you feel like there's this campaign to keep us from learning astrology, understanding the moon cycles, and getting into some of these other practices that are more holistic and feel natural to us?
Oh gosh. VTerrell, you keep giving me questions that require more than an hour to answer.
I'm sorry.
Um, I think part of the campaign is people don't want you to understand your full power,
Mm,
your full autonomy, your ability to use modalities, right? Because that's what they really are. It's modalities
mhm,
in how you reach your creator.
mhm.
And we have demonized modalities.
Right,
That's what we've done.
right.
We've essentially demonized modalities. But going back to the pseudo supremacy, because I want people to understand how this ties in, people will tell you, don't do anything to honor your ancestors, right?
Right.
But July 4th, 1776, guess who ancestors you honoring? You're honoring all the people who wanted your people enslaved.
Right. Right. Right.
Um, Charlottesville,
Mhm.
tiki torches around a statue of an ancestor, a Confederate soldier.
Right.
They went out there. They stood with their torches and their chants that the Jews would not replace them. That was ancestor veneration.
Mm-hmm.
That was calling up and upon an energy to empower them to do evil, to oppress.
Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
So they understand
Right.
how to work their modalities to keep you oppressed.
Right. Right.
While we have people in the black church
Mm-hmm.
telling you you don't need to pay attention to your ancestors.
Right. 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 And when you
So
think
when
it's
we
funny
so
is
when you talk about that, why do they not want us to understand? Like I said, it's a part of that understanding what your full resources are.
mm-hmm. Right, because when you can tap into your full resource, you tap into power. What I think is interesting is even the ideal idea of worshiping Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
If he was a real person and if he
Mm-hmm.
walked the earth, and
Mm-hmm.
then he is an ancestor. And
Correct.
when you think about the Old Testament, they always make sure they talk about lineage, the God
Mm-hmm.
of da 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 da,
Mm-hmm.
and the son
Mm-hmm.
of, and the so and
Mm-hmm.
so of, and the so and so
Mm-hmm.
of, and this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to
Mm-hmm.
Meemaw house, you got great pappy this for the white folks. You know what I'm saying? This is, and your grandfather owned that land over there, but then all of a sudden we
Mm-hmm.
cannot do that.
But we can. And if you're smart,
Huh?
you will.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Because interesting enough, by way of if everything was created by source, then me tracking my ancestral line will lead me right back to God in the first place. That
Mm-hmm.
if everything is created by God's source, I don't really like to say God in this context of this because
Right.
source, then if I follow my ancestry line, I'm honoring source. And so
Yeah.
I don't understand. I don't understand why, outside of ignorance and performatory preaching, and a lot of that, Shantae, in my opinion, is I don't think people even realize they're preaching a pseudo white supremacy. They're just performing. They checking a box,
Mm.
and they don't even know what it is. They're just checking the box. Lord have mercy. We're gonna go to break real quick. And then there's two things I want to get in real quick. I got about 30 minutes. Two things I want to get in. Number one, Diddy and Cassie, right? Now, we're not going to get into the actual trial, but I want to talk about the psychology of the victim and
Mhm.
how they move and how it can look like a victim is in love, and they can be in love. It can look like a lot of things, but we're going to break that down. And then I want to talk about Black women, the space you guys were forced to be in November the 4th or whenever the election was. You all
Mhm.
sitting out of politics, resting. And then one more thing. I didn't mention this, but I'm going to throw a curveball if we got time.
Okay.
I think there's a viral TikTok going on that Black gingers are
Okay.
now Black. Are you familiar with that viral thing?
Yep. And I have posted some things about it. My sister is a ginger.
Good, 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 good. All right, we're going to talk about all of that when we come back. Don't y'all go anywhere at all. We'll be right back.
SafeSpace, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that SafeSpace has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the SafeSpace private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with VTerrillHill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the SafeSpace universe has to offer.
All right, thank you so much for rocking with me. My name is VTerrillHill, and welcome to Safe Space with VTerrillHill. We have Shantae Charles, Life Nation KC, and on the backstage. We're going to do these announcements real quick and bring her back up so we can finish this conversation. If you want to be notified when I come live, text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 to be notified when I come live. I appreciate you guys so much for your support this week. If I can get 10 of you to send $10, it'll help us reach our goal and help finance this platform. All right. SafeSpace VTH is the Cash App. PayPal and Zelle is info@VTerrillHill.com. And the Venmo is @VTerrillHill. SafeSpace VTH is the Cash App. Info@VTerrillHill.com is the PayPal and Zelle, and Venmo @VTerrillHill. All right. Send me something nice. I'll open something nice. P.O. Box 221, Wissett, North Carolina 27377. P.O. Box 221, Wissett, North Carolina 27377 is the P.O. Box. Join the private community. We're doing an after show today. You guys do have no idea what y'all be missing not being a part of the private community. It's only $2.99 a month. Only $2.99 a month, and you can be a part of this private community called the Safe Space Private Community. We do after shows. We do morning prayers on Saturday at 9:30 in the morning. I do a series called Yappalations where I cut the camera on and just talk and share whatever come to my mind. Some of everything is in that private community. There are times in the week that I put that more content goes in there than it does out here. Make sure you join. Email me, info@VTerrillHill.com for all things connected to me. If you want to connect with me, communicate with me, email is the best way. If you 6-7 days later, you didn't get a reply, that means you spelled something wrong or something happened. Check your spam and then email me again. I can't wait to hear from you guys. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. There are 49 of you on YouTube and only 29 likes. If you appreciate this platform, please do me a favor and like this, please. I appreciate you guys in advance. I did not start the live on Instagram. I'm just seeing that. The devil's a liar. Yeah. All right. Let's see what y'all are saying here. Recashes, they know how powerful it is. That's why they suppress our hoodoo. And Tarsha says, exactly. Singing Queen says, whoa. I am Talisha says, I commented months ago about a guy named Robbie in New Orleans who said the exact she said about hoodoo. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. And my last name is Black. God knew I'm definitely taking it into eternity. I love. Let's bring Shantae back on to continue with this conversation. Now, I want to, Shantae, if you can do me a favor and put your link to your YouTube. Do you have it handy? The link to your YouTube page?
I can drop it into the chat.
Yeah, and I'm going to pin it because I would love for you guys to go over there. For those of you guys that are enjoying what she's saying, go over there and subscribe to her YouTube channel. That would be a great thing to do. Okay. All right. While we're waiting on that, let's see. Let me know when it hits so I can go ahead and pin it. Then we'll keep on talking.
Okay. I think I have just put it in there.
Okay. 1 second here. I should have got it before.
I don't know if I did that right.
Oh, I see.
Did I do it right?
It looked like it's right. It looked like it's right. It didn't come over here though. You know what's crazy?
You want me to put it in the private chat?
No, yeah, put it in the private chat because interesting enough, I see it on StreamYard, but I don't see it on YouTube. You know what they do on YouTube too? They be blocking, Shantae. They'll block what's the names. That's fine. Well, I tell you what, during the next break, I'm gonna do it and then put it in the what's the name. Let's keep on going here.
There you go.
All right. You sent it to me. Okay, I got it. Lord have mercy. Diddy and Cassie. I'm gonna read something that I saw on Twitter, and then that's gonna open up this conversation real quick. Okay. They were in a relationship for 11 years. She obviously loved him. She has admitted to willingly taking part in freak-offs at first. Then it took a life of its own, and she was abused and stuck in a situation. Loving messages and messages about freak-offs don't disprove that. So what this person is saying is what the defense is doing in this Cassie case is basically trying to prove to the jury that she loved this man. She wanted to do the freak-offs. She would get jealous when he was with other people, and they did drugs together. And a lot of this domestic violence was when he was fiending for drugs. And I guess the defense is saying two things can't be true at once. There's no way in the world you were being held as a sex slave and love him. No way in the world you could be held as a sex slave and want to have sex with him and want to do the freak offs. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, number one, I think people are forgetting how young she was when she started a relationship with him.
Mm-hmm.
I know there's some reports saying she was as young as 17, somewhere between 17 to 19.
She was 19 when she met him, and he first kissed her at 21. So that means there was like two years of grooming,
right,
while waiting for her to be legal, assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So we cannot bypass grooming that happened in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot bypass grooming. The other piece is we cannot bypass Stockholm syndrome.
Right.
Where people can grow used to the captivity that they are in.
Right.
So I think that's two main things that people want to just brush over. And maybe they've never been in a situation where they've been groomed. But as a counselor friend of mine said today, some people don't want to admit the ways in which they have been groomed.
Right.
Because when you do that work on yourself and recognize the ways in which you have been groomed, hearing her story makes people aware of the ways in which they themselves have been groomed in a relationship.
Do you think maybe it's triggering people, and so they would rather damn Cassie than to face their own pain?
Yes.
Yeah, I get that.
Some mirror work needs to be done.
Right. And let me say this too. I think that there are some people, because they haven't done mirror work, don't believe they've been abused. Because if you listen to Cassie's story, she did not see it as abuse back then.
Correct.
It took trauma therapy for her to start journaling, which she turned into a book, which she turned into $20 million lawsuit. That's when she realized that she wasn't in cahoots with him. She was a slave. Yeah. Okay. Why is it, let's talk about Black people. Why do you think it's so difficult for us as the Black culture to truly accept how damning to the soul sexual trauma is and embrace it and do something about it?
I think it's because we have layers of trauma within our community, within our collective community, within our DNA that we have yet to process as a community. I really do think it's that. When we say PTSD, there's post-traumatic slave disorder, not just PTSD.
Yeah.
So I think we have layers and layers of things that have not been addressed in our community.
Right.
So whether that's incest, whether that is intimate assault, whether that is, we've been on here talking a little bit about my personal story, having generations of women in my family intimately assaulted.
Right.
And not really finding those things out until it happened to me.
Right.
And then it broke open conversations. And I think a lot of our community has not broken open those conversations because for some people it's terrifying.
Right.
That their whole world, there's a potential for your world to fall apart.
Right.
There's a potential for yourself to be fractured in a way that some people don't feel that they'll be able to put themselves back again. It's a vulnerability piece. And we know with our community, we tend to turn our vulnerability into humor. Just go look at any of the latest comedy specials from Jamie Foxx to Marlon Wayans. They've got some really deep, vulnerable things in those specials, but they've wrapped it into humor.
Yes. Yeah. That's real. I want you to speak to the person, and it just popped in my mind. So let's go with this flow real quick. There is someone who feels guilty because they're holding a secret of their abuser, and it don't have to be romantic. It could be an uncle, and they still love their abuser, and they're conflicted. What would you say to that person that's dealing with that internal war?
Hmm. Holding the secret of it, but still loving the person.
Right, right. You understand what I'm saying, or I need to expound?
No, I believe I understand what you're saying. What I would say to you is you can love the person and still feel the need to hold that person accountable.
Hmm.
You are not the sum of what happened to you.
Hmm.
And there is a place for you to be able to separate what happened to you from who you truly are.
Right.
Yes, those experiences happen, but you don't have to sit in the guilt of it.
Hmm. Hmm.
You don't have to sit in the shame of it.
Right.
And there is room for you to confront what happened
Hmm.
while acknowledging that you have feelings for that person.
Right. Right. Right.
And I think sometimes even in holding secrets, sometimes people don't tell because of that feeling that they have for that person.
Right. 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 And that's why I want to talk about it, because I want to encourage somebody that is normal. And normal
Mhm.
from the space of there's nothing wrong with you because you have some benevolence towards your abuser.
Mhm.
That is that's more common than it's not. And
Right.
that's why I'm so glad that Cassie's being honest on the stand when she was being uh uh, uh whatever, the testimony for the prosecutor and the defense. I loved him. I was concerned for him. I remember when I left my situation and there was a phone call for something, and I felt this warmth in my heart, and I was so confused. I'm like, why am I feeling like this? But you know what else I learned, Shantae? Just because you feel like that doesn't change the abuser either.
Right.
The abuser is still an abuser, even if you have benevolence for them.
Mhm.
And that's a real thing. So I don't want anybody to feel bad, conflicted, dark. It's bad enough things happen to you,
Mhm.
and I don't want you to
Well,
go ahead.
it's
Go ahead.
a part of it's a part of you retaining your own humanity.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why why are we in a space where the whistleblower, the person that calls out, speaks up? Why are we in a space where now every time someone speaks up and out, they are the problem? I'll do another current topic, DDG and Holly. I have seen so many
Mm.
tweets about how Holly's a monster and she just wants to take that baby from that black man. Where did this come from?
Again, you're giving me these topics that require more than 3 minutes. We've got some. I'm gonna say this term, and I want people to understand it is an actual term. Okay, the terms that I use on here, you can look them up. They are actual terms. Re and let me. I hope your channel doesn't get dinged for this.
I've seen
Re
worse.
Reniggerization.
Hold on. Okay. All right. Explain.
It is the process of bringing us back to a mindset and a mind state
Hmm.
of degradation for one another and towards one another. And we've seen so much of it happen between Black men.
Right.
But what we're really seeing now is this degradation and this encouragement to degradation of Black men toward Black women.
Mm. Mm.
There is a subset of men, because I'm not going to say all men. There's a
Absolutely
subset of men
right.
that have fallen into this mindset that Black women are no good,
Mm.
that they are conniving, that they are scheming, that they deserve to be destroyed in some way, shape, or form. There's actually an organization, I cannot remember the acronym for it, but there's literally a organization of Black men now that have said that the leader has come out and said that the only way to solve this problem is to unalive Black women.
Mm-hmm.
We
Mm-hmm.
have There's a subset of men that literally feel like anything a Black woman does is a detriment to us at this point. So you have that within the conversation and within the noise that's being made. You
Right.
see it with her, you see it with Meg the Stallion's case.
Right. Right.
People will come out and say these really horrible, derogatory things. And you're even seeing it with that controversy of the statue
Right.
in New York City, the
Right.
Black statue called "Grounded in the Stars."
Mm-hmm.
And I said, these days, you just have to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you have to say, especially if you're getting into a relationship with someone, before we go further,
Right.
tell me how you feel about Halle Bailey.
Right.
Before we go further, tell me your thoughts on Meg the Stallion.
Right.
Before we go further,
Right.
tell me what you think about that statue.
Right.
Because you really have to, in Black women, unfortunately, because we're being unalived at, I think, 2 or 3 times the rate as other people,
Mm.
we really got to just do some vetting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I need to know where your heart is, where your heart stands when it comes to Black women.
Yeah. 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 Let me throw something else in there. Um, it's amazing how social media can literally sway the direction of an entire culture.
Hmm.
Do you think that there are some powers that be that allow certain discourses to run rampant while others don't? Because I am a Black gay man raised in a nuclear home, mom, dad, all the things that should be the things. And my feed is nothing but negativity. And I'm like, how?
Hmm.
How? I don't even care about this stuff. Of course, I want to know about Diddy. I want to know about DDG and Meg Thee Stallion. But at the end of the day, all I see up and down my Twitter feed specifically
Hmm.
is just vitriol, vitriol. Blacks against Black Americans against Ghanaians, and Black
Hmm.
Americans against Black Brits. Just. Do you think that the powers that be have supercharged the algorithm to keep chaos?
Oh, absolutely. Because they've actually done the research on it, and that says that we are more prone to receive and to align ourselves with the negative.
Right.
And so, because they know that the negative is the money making machine, throw in the owners of these platforms,
Right.
right,
Right.
who align themselves with pseudo supremacy. Yeah, it's psychological warfare on steroids. And
Mm-hmm.
so it is up to us to make sure that we are doing what we can to protect our mental space, our head space.
Right.
It's up to us to begin to monitor even more what we're taking in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to us to recognize that these platforms have been set to no longer filter out
Right.
the hatred. No longer, it's these platforms are actually feeding
Mm-hmm.
the hatred. It's
Right.
feeding the conflict. It's feeding the division.
Right.
So if I already know that, I've clocked mine now. I can actually time mine now that every 6 days
Mm-hmm.
I get a whole slew of nothing but pseudo supremacist pages with nothing but stuff about how much they hate Black women,
Right.
images,
Right.
vile stuff. I mean, it's constant
Mm-hmm.
to the point where I have to click on it, block it, click on it, block it, click
Right.
on it, block it.
Right.
And so because of that, I've had to say this is the time I will allow myself on social media,
Mm-hmm.
but I've got to pull back
Mm-hmm.
because I need to protect my energy. And I
Yes.
tell people all the time, my hide finger is just as good as my block finger.
Right. 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 Yeah. And
It's hide and block.
and the reason why I asked that because I was on Twitter getting ready for today, and so I decided to go to the restroom. I was thinking while I was in the restroom, I said, "Why is everybody so against Cassie?" And I said, "Hold on a second. Everybody is not against Cassie.
Right.
But the way the algorithm is set up, my algorithm is set up, the only
Mhm.
thing I'm getting is this anti-victim
Mhm.
rhetoric. And I
Mhm.
thought, isn't it interesting that almost just that fast, I was about to get lost in it. I had to pull myself back. Even if 100, if 100,000 people right now tweeted Cassie is lying, that is not the majority of
Mhm.
anything.
Mhm.
And I think where it gets dangerous, that I never forget, I was having a conversation with my best friend, and it was right before the election, and he was saying some of the most wildest stuff. I said, "Where are you getting this from?" Oh,
Where are you getting it from?
the news. I said, "Well, what channel?" And it was some off-brand something on YouTube. I said, no." So I had to
Mhm.
sit there and literally, because I'm not going to say it because it's just my word. Chat GPT.
Mhm.
That's not true. That's not true. But
Mhm.
if I didn't use wisdom, we could have gotten a whole argument over lies that's
Yes.
targeting young black men.
Yes.
I,
And here's the thing.
Mhm,
The same way there are lies targeting young black men,
mhm.
there are also lies targeting young black women
Right, right, right.
on the other side of that. I'll give you an example of how um the especially on Twitter, because I'm rarely over there. But when I go on Twitter, I play around with Grok.
Mhm,
If I go to Twitter,
right,
I only want to talk to Grok at this point. Grok exposed its own creator this
right.
week.
Grok beats whistleblowing all the time, right?
And that, again, that is just an example of how he's trying to program
Mhm,
behind the scenes, he's trying to program it to speak about something that is not true,
mm,
right? This notion of white genocide in South Africa, there is no documentation, there's no record of it. Even the legal people, the police there say there's no record of this happening,
mhm.
but yet he's programming his AI to bring it up.
Right, right,
So
right.
that's a clear one right there. And Grok exposed him and said, "My creator told me to bring this up
Right,
in conversations. I know you're wondering why I'm bringing this up, but Elon programmed me to do this."
right, right.
So that's an example of it. We have to be mindful of our information sources. I know right now people are like, legacy media is trash. They don't want to trust a lot of what legacy media says, but there are some nonpartisan channels still out there, nonpartisan news sites still out there.
Mhm,
You can type in and it will give you a list of nonpartisan news sites. Then go check them,
mhm,
because even some of the nonpartisan news sites, some of their headlines are anti-black. Some of
mm.
their headlines are anti-woman.
We saw
Some of
that
their
in Sinners.
headlines,
We saw that
yeah.
in the Sinners movie where Variety was like,
Mhm.
Sinners debuted blockbuster, but
Mhm.
and everybody was like, why the butt? Like, why you don't butt nobody else but the black movie? Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me ask you this real quick, and then we'll talk about gingers and being a part of the black community now. What what would you say to the spiritual person as an exercise, a ritual to cleanse themselves, protect themselves, honor themselves from all of the purpose-filled vitriol that's in our culture and social media and the conversation and so on?
I'll give you two of them that I utilize. Both of them from the spirit. One was the spirit telling me that you have to begin to say out loud what you want to see and what you want to happen. You
Hmm.
can't just be silent within yourself.
Hmm.
You have to begin to speak out loud and change your environment.
Hmm.
Um, so one of the things Spirit told me to say is, the goodness of God is coming to me today.
Hmm.
It has changed my life.
Hmm.
It has changed my trajectory. The other phrase is, say it with me. And this is something that I've been doing on my page. Put myself in a space of quiet, and I allow myself to take 2 or 3 minutes
Hmm.
just to hear what the spirit is telling me to say out loud.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I began to speak that to myself and to my environment. It's literally changing my day every single day,
Mhm.
whatever that declaration is. And part of it is knowing and believing that there's power in your words.
Right. Right. Right.
One of the most powerful things I heard someone say about the Sinners movie is they said the real revelation in that movie was that it wasn't someone coming to save us, it was Black people saving themselves.
Come on. Correct. Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
It was them recognizing and standing up in their power that is divinely given,
Mhm.
right? If I know that I am divine, if I know that the power of God lives in me and works in me, then I can speak and let that power come out of me. I
Yeah.
don't I don't have to keep saying, well, in the name of the divine. No, I know the divine is in me. I
Right.
know it works through me. I
Right.
know it operates in me.
Right.
I recognize and understand that my words are shaping my world.
Right. 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 Right.
They're
Right.
shaping my environment.
Right. Yeah. 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 And I want to add to that, and then we'll go to the next thing. What you say connected to your consciousness changed the world. So I don't have to say in the name of Jesus if I am already in that consciousness. And if that is my intentions, because intentions matter even in communication. I could say one thing with the intent on being funny and it lands comedic. I can say the same thing with the intent on hurting your feelings and it lands and hurts your feelings. And what I'm hearing you saying is instead of going through the performatory rituals, be it. And when you
Yes.
be it, it will be. And
Yes.
I want to say this real quick about the Sinners movie. And someone was because a lot of people interpreted what happened to Sammy because he disobeyed his father, aka denied the invitation to play music in the church. And someone said, no, the father was just as bad as the vampire because the
Mhm.
vampire wanted to steal his gift and the father wanted to steal his gift, one for and both for selfish reasons. Just
Mhm.
because the church wants your gift don't mean they're not going to use it for their selfish reasons. And the thing was, Sammy chose him, good, bad,
Mhm.
and indifferent. He chose the gift because the gift is where the power was. And I think that aligns with what you're saying about that being thing, because there's some people that feel like they're. Oh, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna run. There's some people that feel like they have identity in Christ, and yet they're soulless.
Mhm.
They talk like Christ, they walk like Christ, and they ain't got no soul.
And I want to speak to that because
Mhm.
you asked me what two things.
Mhm.
One of them was the goodness of God is coming to me today.
Mhm.
Today is always now.
Mhm.
I don't say the goodness of God is coming to me tomorrow. It's coming to me today. The other thing you just mentioned is embodiment.
Mhm.
That's the ultimate word for it.
Right.
Is when embodiment is when you and the Father, you and the Creator become one.
Mhm. Mhm.
Remember, Jesus said it's spirit and life.
Mhm.
So when you become one with spirit, when you speak, spirit is speaking.
Right. Right.
That's when you begin to embody what
Right.
you believe. It's
Right.
not just head knowledge.
Right.
It's your life action. Everything you do becomes embodiment. Everything you do becomes prophetic. The
Yes.
other part is the other saying that he gave me for protection
Mhm.
comes from Psalm 91. And I say this, Creator, make me invisible
Mhm.
to those who don't need to see me.
Right.
Make me invisible to those who come to harm me, but make me hard to miss
Mm.
for
Right.
those who come to bless me.
Oh yeah. 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 Make me hard to miss for those who come to bless me, and make me invisible for those who come to harm me. Yep. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this one question. We'll go on break. We got your YouTube page pinned to the YouTube comments now. Um, y'all make sure you subscribe to Shantae Charles's YouTube. She is what, about 100+ subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark. So SafeSpace, those that are watching the live and the replay, click that link. I'm gonna pin it in the replay comments as well. Click that link and subscribe. Really, 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 really quick. There was this, I think, well-intentioned TikTok video saying, "Hey, white gingers, I just want you to know you're a part of the family." And to be honest, I saw some really emotional white gingers who I guess have been, drug across the coals for being white gingers, because I don't know if people know that white gingers get mistreated in the white community, which is crazy to me, but okay, well, whatever. Then I saw some videos that say, "Have you lost your bleep, 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 bleep mind? They ain't invited to, they ain't part of nothing. Have you forgotten?" I'm interested in knowing where you stand in this.
Again, two things.
Let me say this real quick. And I am very well aware that they are not a part of the Black community, but I guess in the space of like embracing, being vulnerable, being open. I think that's where this person was coming from. All right, go.
Well, two things. You have a group of Black people that don't realize that gingers carry African ancestry. So that is true. They share a gene with African ancestry. However, as I was discussing today on my platform, Black genetic ancestry does not make you Black by culture.
Right.
Some of us carry 3% European. We don't go around talking about welcome to the white community.
Right.
So the reality is, if someone wants to embrace our community, you got to ask some questions. Because why are we giving out blanket invites? Has this person decolonized their mind? Has this person done the work of anti-racism? I am of the mindset, I tell people all the time, I don't believe in allies. I don't ascribe to allyship.
Why not?
It's John Brown energy or bust. John Brown gave it all. He put all on the line. Allies will cut out on you and skip town.
Right.
So there's a difference,
Right.
is what I'm saying. There are people who will say they are for you until you say the wrong thing about their whiteness that they don't appreciate.
Right.
And then they withdraw all their support. Those are allies. So I don't do the ally thing. I do co-conspirator, which is John Brown energy.
I love
Are
it.
you putting your body on the line for Black people? If something goes down, are you willing to protect me with your life? That's the kind of energy I'm on. If you're not on that, stay out of my way and stay out of my space.
And stay out the comments and keep the tears, keep the fragility. Don't need it.
All of that.
Don't
exactly. Need it. Dr. Creole Butterfly said everyone wants to be Black until it's time to be.
Absolutely.
So we don't need you cosplaying Blackness. We don't need you coming into the space not having done the work that requires you to be in the space. Don't just say, I want to do the hairstyle. I want to do the boots on the ground. But when it's time to have the boots on the ground because boots have been on our necks, we can't find you. We can't find you. And like I said, my sister is a ginger. A lot of people talk about colorism, right? Everybody knows about colorism, but there is a thing called color prejudice. And color prejudice is a real thing. There are people in certain parts of the world that get attacked for being pale, for being albino.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, I can understand Ginger saying, thank you all for including us. But baby, we got to find a third space for you. You know what a third space is? It ain't the cookout.
No,
it ain't the cookout.
It ain't the cookout. And let me just throw this in here. I get an attitude, Shantae. I get pissy when a white church is singing our songs and the organ is playing And then you get black folk in the comments. Oh, see, yeah, y'all can come to the cookout, all the anointing, and all this, and it's nothing but a simulation. It is the same thing of
Correct.
wanting adjacency to blackness until it's time to
Mhm.
vote. And every
Mhm.
single time I post, I guarantee you, almost every single person in that church trying to dance like us voted for Donald Trump.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Because they have learned to do what Remick did.
correct.
They have learned to take on some of the characteristics, right?
Mhm.
Without a soul.
Mhm.
And what that scene showed, where all of those black people were out there doing the Irish jig,
Right,
it showed what happens when your culture gets taken over,
right, right.
because they became the soulless.
Shantae, when I tell you your average praise break, you got more black people in there clapping on the 1 and 3.
Mhm.
There is no soul. When I tell you, one of the most frustrating things about where I'm at right now is the soul has left the black church. And now they're shucking and jiving like Riddick. That's why
Mhm.
when they see them white people doing it, they like, oh yeah, that's us. They are them Asians that sing gospel music. Go to
Mhm.
I'm not gonna cuss. I get frustrated because it's a simulation. And then
Mhm.
your Meemaw won't even let us in the hair store without watching us. Like, come on. So, all right, let me breathe. We're gonna go on break real quick, and then we come back. I'm gonna let you have your final words. You can tell us how to reach you and do all the things of the things. And then, guys, we're gonna get on out of here because Shantae only has an hour and we're 13 minutes over. So we'll be right back.
SafeSpace, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that SafeSpace has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the SafeSpace private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with VTerrillHill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the SafeSpace universe has to offer.
Thank you so much for rocking with us. We're going to bring Shantae up real quick, but what I'm going to do is, matter of fact, what we'll do is, we'll let her come on, have her last words. I know she got to drop off. Then we'll chat a little bit and then get ready for the after show. So we'll do all announcements after Shantae gives us her last words. Shantae, what you got?
We didn't get into it tonight, so I want to make sure that I end here. And that is, I want to say, Black people, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
Human beings, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to encourage our community to continue to sit it out.
Yeah.
I want to encourage our community to continue to lean in
Mm-hmm.
to what heals us.
Mm-hmm.
I want to encourage our community to not lean into being provoked,
Right.
because we know what time it is in this country.
Right.
I also want us to understand that America has pulled the Negro card for everyone. And if there was a person who didn't understand, who kept saying, I just cannot understand what it's like to be Black in America, they are getting a taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is not just about what Felon in Chief 4547 is doing, but this is also a reckoning to help people to understand what Black people in this country have been saying for hundreds of years.
Right. Right.
It's helping people to now understand, as we started out this conversation, we're sort of coming back full circle. It's helping people to either lean into their empathy, to say, now I understand what Black people meant
Mm-hmm.
about things being snatched from them without explanation, jobs and opportunities being taken from them without explanation. I now understand what Black people mean about policies written to disadvantage them. I didn't see it before, but I see it now.
Right.
So they're either leaning into that or they're pulling away further because they think that they're going to be spared in some way, shape, or form from what's happening. And as the Congressman Cory Booker wisely said, he said, this is no longer about left and right. This is about right and wrong. I'll go a little bit further and say, this is about those who have humanity and those who want to strip it away.
Right. Right.
This is about those who have something to offer. And this is about the 0.1% that want to make sure that no one else survives except them.
Right.
We are in the middle of a highway robbery.
Mm-hmm.
So stay awake.
Yeah. Yeah. And I want to say this too. You can believe that immigration is an issue and still be humane.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe the economy is an issue and still be humane. There is not one Republican talking point that requires any human to be inhumane.
Correct.
And what I think is great is especially those of the brown descent that are immigrants here, just like we have to think twice when we walk the streets. I hope some of them are starting to have that same caution when it comes to ICE and going to work. And maybe your people, your surroundings, your cousin Tio that you stay with that is an American citizen won't vote against your privilege next time. Thank you so much, Shantae. Appreciate
Thank you all.
I pinned Shantae's Linktree link in the comments for you all. I'm going to leave it up, and I'll also pin it in the replay comments as well. That is how you can reach her. Dr. Creole Butterfly, aka Libra Butterfly, says she just subscribed. Y'all do me a favor. Do me a favor. If you like this platform and you enjoy the content of this platform, you will enjoy Shantae Charles's platform, Life Nation KC. Do me a favor and go over there and subscribe. All right, lady. I will chat with you later. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
God bless. Appreciate you being on here.
Take care.
All right. All right, guys. We did good today. It's only an hour and 18 minutes in. I'm gonna push it out a little bit for those of you guys that want to hang in. 11:30 for the private community. 11:30 for the private community. Okay. If you did y'all enjoy this today? Only thing I don't like about these type of conversations is y'all will hang in there with me, but y'all will not comment, and I don't understand. I mean, I get it. In conversations like this, you want to just take it in, but it don't help my algorithm. I swear it don't. But anyway, if you want to be notified when I come live, text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 to be notified when I come live. I need 9 of you to send $10 to help us reach our goal today. The Cash App is SafeSpace VTH, SafeSpace VTH. PayPal and Zelle is info@VTerrillHill.com, info@VTerrillHill.com, and the Venmo is @VTerrillHill. That's SafeSpace VTH for the Cash App. PayPal and Zelle is info@VTerrillHill.com, and the Venmo is @VTerrillHill. You can send me something nice. I'll open something nice. P.O. Box 221, Wissett, North Carolina 27377. P.O. Box 221, Wissett, North Carolina 27377. We're going in the after show at 11:30 tonight. After show is always, I don't know, after show that is not entertaining, madly entertaining. From the beginning to the end. Join the private community because you're missing out. And you can join by clicking the Linktree link in the video description box of the video you're watching right now. If you're on your desktop or laptop on YouTube, there's a join button up under that video. The moderators are putting the YouTube link inside of the live comments as well. Email me, info@VTerrillHill.com. I prefer emails over DMs because DMs are across all the social media sites. But if you want to connect with me, email is the way to connect. info@VTerrillHill.com. I batch respond, so just give me some time and I respond. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you guys so much. All right. We're getting on out of here. Love you guys long time. Until good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much, Jan. And I know, Frandrew, and I guess I'm just gonna have to be okay with that. I was gonna have to be okay with it because even on Thursdays it'd be like that. On Soul Healing Thursdays it'd be like that. But love you guys a long time. Private community. I will see you guys in about 33 minutes. Tomorrow we'll be live at 6:30 p.m. if I can manage to do a 5-er. All right. Y'all be blessed. Bye. Hold on. Goodness gracious, VT, you want me to walk and chew come at the same time? Yes, sir. Y'all be blessed. Bye.
SafeSpace, refuge for growth and healing. Want to be connected to all that SafeSpace has to offer? Join our email community. Stay in the loop with inspirational insights and updates. Join our email community and connect with like-minded individuals on the path to self-discovery. Sign up now.
Find your tribe in a safe, supportive space. Join the SafeSpace private community and connect with others who get it. We're waiting for you. Stay connected wherever you are with lives and video drops. Text VTerrillHill to 833-458-3658 for instant updates and powerful insights. Join the text community now. Curious about what's next? Book an intuitive tarot reading with VTerrillHill and get the clarity you need. Your future awaits. Heal from within and transform your life. Schedule a soul healing consultation and take the first step towards wholeness. Start your journey today.
Click the Linktree link inside of the description box connected to this video for all of what the SafeSpace universe has to offer.